Of all the avatars I fought with, you're by far the worst.
Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. Today we're going to talk about Avatar the fighting game. So right now the closed alpha is ongoing, and my understanding is still, just like the last one, not too many people got invited, and we got a new playable character in this Toph, and a lot of people are very excited for her. So I figure, in lieu of an official breakdown, because one doesn't exist as far as I know, other than the trailer, let's just break down everything about Toph and what she can do. Because as we've talked about Avatar in previous videos, you know, the characters are very expressive, they can do a lot of things, they're very unique, and Toph, even among the cast in the game, is very unique. Because in a cast full of like super mobile characters, where people can do all sorts of running, backdashing, air movement, like movement's one of the big things about the game. Like, you are capable of some outright silly stuff in this game, and that's great, to the game's credit, absolutely. And then Toph is like, nah, cannot do any of that stuff. Like, she can't even run like other characters. She can dash, and the most she can do is interrupt a dash with a jump. But that's it. She can't even like interrupt a dash with like a button. She has to complete the full dash before doing any attacks. Versus the other characters, a lot of them have like flow running, because flow is a special state button where you can run with flow, or you can just dash or whatever, and easily cancel any dash into attack. And Toph, movement-wise, is just a lot more limited by design, but that's, you know, a weakness. Characters are supposed to have weaknesses, because Toph has lots of strengths in other ways. And Toph's strengths are many. Like, we talked about the trailer when the trailer came out, one of the developers gave me a little bit of insight to the character. But even beyond that, it's like way more than I thought. Like, I called her the gorilla character, and boy howdy was I selling her short. Because like, not only does she have super armor, you can see her glow green, that's super armor. Depending on some of your variations, some of your allied characters, you can have hyper armor. And rest assured, she just has the ability to just tank through things. That's the Toph way, because Toph is tough. So we mentioned it in the trailer breakdown, but just to reassure you, she's the super armor bully character. She is the big boy of the game. Yes, she is a small girl, but she is a big boy spiritually. And let's dig into it. So like, when it comes to stuff like her normals, she's an earthbender. And you're going to see a lot of that in her various normals, and I think that's great. The animations are fantastic. Like, just the pose, hey, it's straight out of the cartoon, like everything you'd expect, her feeling the ground. Even like the seismic waves, once they touch you, she knows where you are, and then you're got, right? Because that's how Toph works. But on that note, so the normals are pretty big. Like, this game does not have small normals by any stretch, but like, even by the game standards, this game, Toph has some pretty big normals. And like stuff like stand heavy and crouching heavy, these both, you can see that green tint, right? So they both have super armor attached to them. And stuff like her crouch medium, like the range on that's actually gigantic. And the fact it's a medium and this is a chain game means you can easily go into various normals from there. And so even from a very respectable distance away, you can see here, like, she can get some damage in, right? Like, the range is really good and you can convert from far away. So her normals are just pretty big, even by the game standards, and like jump medium's got huge range as well, just like a shotgun blast of rocks. Like, the things that aren't directly lifted from the show, because a lot of things are, like, they made some very smart choices. Like, jump heavy is just a giant slab of rock over your head, and the fact that it causes a tumble state just out of the gate, right? So you can combo from it easily. And actually, speaking of normals, so she has a unique trait, at least from the existing cast, in that all of her heavies, be it, you know, standing, jumping, whatever, all of them cause chip damage. So chip damage exists in the game, like that's nothing new for special moves, like to be expected, but not on normals, right? And for Toph, you know, her various specials will do chip damage too, but her normals, so all of her heavy normals do chip damage, no matter what. So she's not like a high-low 50-50 mix character by any stretch. So this is where she gets her extra damage in. She cannot necessarily mix you up, but she can just make you take damage for existing. So like any basic string, like, you know, A, B, C, all that kind of stuff, if you add that like a special on top of it, you'll just get more chip damage than the other characters will get. So not necessarily a mixed character, but she will penalize you just for the act of blocking, because her heavy attacks are just that strong and just do chip in and of themselves, which is really cool. As far as I can tell, the closest thing she has to mix is like she has a lot of plus frames, right? And it's the old classic strike throw, because she can throw you, and her throw animation's easily the best in the game. Rocketing herself up with earthbending just to drop the elbow on the way down, right? And her jump heavy has so many active frames. If you do it right, the frame you jump, it'll still connect on an enemy, right? So if they whiff and like trying to tech a throw, you'll just land on their head. So that's some of the basics, right? Let's talk about Toph's specials. So I guess out of the gate, let's talk the flow. So the flow is a big part of the game, and hers works a bit differently than everyone else's. So she can do a forward flow for movement, and just like many other characters, it can low profile like things like projectiles or like high attacks, but she's not a very movement based character. So other than one of her support characters, which we'll talk about later, the boulder, it's not too much in and of itself. Her back flow, however, is a lot more unique, as you can see here, because it's very much no, you're coming to me. So you can drag the opponent to you against their will, and then like go for a throw, like do whatever you want to do, right? So that's very interesting, because you can just pull people in and immediately start attacking out of the gate. So I think, you know, her movement is not great, right? But she can curtail your movement, which is how you make up for that. And down flow is effectively a stance. So when you do it, you can do down flow light, and that's basically just a bigger version of her down heavy. Has a huge range. Also, one of her very few safe on block special moves. Her frame data is not amazing, but I think that's by design. So you got to be careful with what you use. And yeah, the range on this, once again here, just big. She has big range on everything. She can basically hit you at any point on the screen anytime she wants. That's kind of part of the character design. Stance medium is a gigantic super armored charge. Notice that she's glowing green the whole time, so there's armor throughout the duration of the move. And this one, once again, safety on block. This is very unsafe on block. It is apparently -13, so you're getting blown up, right? But if you just need to get in no matter what, and you know, dang the consequences, like that's how you do it. And then stance heavy, well, that's what you saw in the trailer. That's where things get a little silly, right? Because you can get a gigantic pillar or a tiny pillar, because you choose how big it's going to be just by holding the button. And then from there, you can do all your various normals. Although your stand heavy now becomes a projectile toss that has different ranges depending on what you hold. And yes, this does hit on the way up, by the way. There you go. Very basic example, right? But you can tell there's some sass on that, right? Just a combination of like going vertical, you know, popping people with big rocks, comboing them off. They're like, the whole combo flow for Toph is really, really cool. Now, for other proper special moves just besides the stance, which is a flow thing. And just in case you're unaware, yes, this is a motion game. There is no easy special moves, no easy inputs. You got to do the motions normally. So a basic one is cortical forward and one of your attacks. This is a charge. Well, it's just a charge. She'll earthbend a rock on her and hit you in the face with it. And light, medium, and heavy kind of upgrades them, gets better and better. In fact, light and medium, they're mostly self-explanatory. Medium, a little slower, does a little bit more damage. Heavy, you might notice she's building up some rock armor and then charging in, right? So this is like her stance medium, but just a special move that's an on-demand version. So the beginning, the startup, glowing green, so that has super armor. So you can use this basically to charge your way in. Has a lot more range than the stance version, because it doesn't quite go full screen. And when it comes to special cancels and combos, you can only combo into your flow state off very limited moves like your command normals. Like going A, B, C flow does not work. But A, B, C into, say, the special charge, that absolutely works. And the enhanced version just even faster, and it's armored all the way through till the end of the move. So another, if I gotta get in no matter what right now, this is the move for it. That's quarter circle forward. Quarter circle back, this is the magic of Toph. So this is where she'll send out like the seismic search, and as soon as it finds you, boom, you get hit. So the lighter version has faster startup, but the rings take longer to get where they're going. And up to the heavier versions, they have slower startup, but the rings travel much faster. And as soon as they catch you anywhere on the ground, you're gone. And keep in mind, yes, you gotta be on the ground here. So these will only trigger once you touch your feet on the ground, because again, she's blind, right? Like, she needs you to be twinkle toes and give yourself away with your seismic vibration. Also, by the way, these moves are always advantage on block, because there's variations of them and we're gonna talk about it, but they're all plus on block. So that's really, really, really good. Now, those variations. So you can hold the button while you're doing it. And when you hold the button, you can do some things that change it up. So say you hold the button and tap. You can then cancel the seismic search and then just kind of kick a rock. Now, depending on the button you press, that chooses where the rock will be on the screen. And one of the things that's really good about this is, for one, it's always a low. You have to block this low. So if you're moving back and forth all that, if you're not blocking low, if you don't watch your toes, you'll get hit. It's a pretty low damage option, but again, it's pretty quick. It can be near instantaneous anywhere on the screen, near full screen at that. And the other variation is, if you do this and not tap it, but hold it, she'll basically do what the full ring search version of the move is, although not as good, but she can do it on demand anywhere on the screen. So just like the trip version, light, medium, and heavy all travel different distances. So it's basically, did you tap it, you get the low. If you hold it, you get a pillar that launches. And you can use these pillars to get big meterless juggle combos as well, right? So it's a pretty good source of damage for her. And again, it's always plus on block. So the weakness is, you know, these are all pretty low to the ground. So people who jump, well, that's what Toph's weakness, right? Like, she's not mobile, she's not airborne. So you got to snipe people out of the air. That said, though, if you do hit him with the pillars, you get a gigantic launcher that's very easy to combo from. And then the enhanced version of the move, it travels like near instantaneously. Like, no need for like the manual version where you just pop it manually. So real quick, and also combos into tumbling enemies as well, which just gives you some of your better combo structures. And just really, really, really strong. And oh, by the way, the rock remains. That's sort of the big deal. I don't want to bury the lead. The rock stays on the screen and becomes something the opponent's got to deal with. So say I hit you, the rock's just on the screen. If I smash you through the rock, it'll repop you. So now, just like, say, full screen even, right? Just risk it. Did you get it? Okay, that's some pretty quick damage, right? Like, so if you'll pardon my pun here, you gotta watch your toes, right? Like, you can't just be doing something. Like, the safest place against Toph, which, you know, is lore accurate, is the air. Because if she finds you on the ground, she's gonna get you. Toph also has a special move that's EX only, so it always costs meter and 2 meters of that. But one look at it, yeah, okay, that makes sense, right? Like, so this is a slower startup but armored full screen launching projectile. So basically, it's a, if I need to win an exchange anywhere on the screen at any time, this is basically it. And yes, it takes a bit of timing, but you can get juggles off of it too, depending on your spacing and all that. So it's very interesting. As far as her supers go, her basic level 4 super, 4 chakras, is just a bunch of projectiles. It's very easy to combo into pretty much anywhere on the screen. The one weakness though is it's a bit susceptible in the corner. If you're in the corner and do like just kind of any given move, at certain points, like certain parts of it can miss and you'll just get way less damage, which definitely is less than optimal, but is what it is, I guess. And her 7 chakra super, the big cinematic one, is the command grab. So this is metal bending. And being a command grab, this is a proper command grab super. So after you see that flash, after the cinematic began, if you weren't already jumping, it's already too late. So you're going to lose half your life at a minimum, probably game over scenario, basically. So just it being a proper command grab, anytime she's close, if she has a meter, you really, really got to think about it. So this is the only metal bending she has. She's an earthbender, right? So there's other characters in the universe with metal bending. We'll see if there'll be playable characters later. We don't know the roster yet, right? And we still don't have a dedicated grappler either. Like, this is a command grab, but it is the big cinematic super, right? So not a normal grab. Again, she only has like just the basic throw. And finally, let's talk the support characters, the variations. So the boulder is the first one. It's the most simple, but it's also my favorite, just because this is where, well, she already has armor, right? But this is where the more super armor is. So this gives her more super armor on all her various flow moves, as in any at all for some of them. So her forward flow, which is her run/dash, gives it super armor. So it's already a low profile, can go under highs and projectiles, but it's also armored on top of that. So basically, no matter what, I'm getting in. Her backflow, the one that brings you in against your will, same deal. It now has super armor. It did not have super armor before. So while you're doing this, if someone taps you, you'll be able to armor the hit. Now, super armor, right? So only one hit, but it's there. But your stance. So if you hold the stance, and this is only for the boulder, if you hold the stance, it gives it hyper armor, meaning it can tank an infinite amount of hits. So it'll still be susceptible to getting thrown, but otherwise, you can just keep going. Also, some of your various moves here, like say stance A, stance light. If you go into the super armor state, now gives that move super armor as well. So it gives even more armor to some of your existing moves. So just even more tanky. Stance medium already had armor, right? If you hold it for hyper armor, it now gives this hyper armor as well. So it can go through an infinite amount of hits until it hits on the other side. Although it doesn't affect pillar as far as I know, but still, the fact you can just tank through everything, and then it gives two of your options out of it even more armor to work with, as in some armor for the stance A and infinite armor for stance B. So that, pulling people in, getting in, like this is armor, armor, armor. The boulder knows a thing or two about super armor. Now, Badger Mole makes your earth pillars better. So for one, if you just do the regular held version, it makes the projectile quite a bit larger, like the pillar itself. So just better hitbox, just better to work with. Also, when you do the cancel version for the quick trip, the hitbox on this is way bigger, like double the size. This will hit from like 99% of the screen away, unlike the other one, right? Well, it'll hit from like 85% of the screen away. So if people are running around or walking, this just gives you a way better chance to just trip them up while they're doing their thing, right? So very valuable, like just makes the move way, way better. Also the enhanced pillar, now that pillar is way bigger. As you can see, like it goes to the top of the skybox. Like the general theory is still the same, that you can just like launch people and just hit them on the other end of thing, right? But just the fact it's just that much bigger to work with. And the other interesting thing about Badger Mole is it has an effective seismic assault. So, you know, you can stand out the ring, tosses the projectile, right? As soon as they make contact. If you hold the flow button while that's happening, she'll just keep doing it. She'll cancel the recovery of the projectile being sent out back into the state. It's always going to be the light version, so like lesser travel time, right? But you can just basically keep it up forever. So say you're fairly close to the enemy, you can just kind of make them scared to make a movement for first couple reps, because you can just keep canceling. If they try to move or hit a button, then they potentially run the risk of just getting bopped back into one of these. So she can chain it in the chain it in the chain it. And this is all exclusive to the Badger Mole. So, you know, no armor on flow like say the boulder, but your range game gets better. And the final support character is Hippo, not King Hippo, that's someone else. But we had the Earth Pillar move, and this just makes it better. So one, the pillar by itself just has a slightly bigger hitbox. So say you're doing a combo with like EX projectile, that will connect, whereas the other variations will not connect. Like it just gives you just a little bit more to work with. But I guess I'm bearing the lead here because like, okay, it's a little bigger. That's nice. You know, it's not nothing. But also what? Because you can now surfboard on this mamma jamma all the way across the screen. And that's, you know, forward or backwards, whatever. So say you have it in mind to be like a runaway zoning Toph. Technically, you can do that with this variation. And because you can move forward with it, it has a hitbox and a wider hitbox, thanks to the support character. You can also just get more combos that aren't possible with the other support characters. Like say here, like admittedly, this is somewhat basic, but you can just do something quick like that and then zone them out. Like you have a lot more combo ability. Like this is the combo support character slash variation, if you will. Because all you have to do is when you do pillar, just keep holding the flow button and then you have full control over the pillar. Simple as that. And then from there, more combos, more possibilities, just a lot more that can be done. It's pretty basic, but basically this is the up your combo damage variation. Like, maybe not terribly complex, but like, just literally you get more options. But yeah, so that's a brief look at Toph and just everything she's capable of. I think Toph is really cool. Like, one of the cool things about this game is every character is so wildly unique. Nobody plays even remotely like anybody else. And here's Toph, and again, just a completely different style of gameplay from everyone else in a major way, right? Now we had a bunch of like super mobile characters that can do all sorts of tricks and all sorts of aerial things. And now we have the characters that can barely move, but is just dripping with super armor and just all sorts of cool stuff like that. And can like force you to them, make your movement work again. Like, it's just really well done. We still got a lot of characters to go yet too. So if this is what the game's been offering, other characters, like we already know Sokka's in there, right? And like other characters I just know are going to be all the cooler yet. So I'm just looking forward to it. But all that said, that is your look at Toph. And hopefully there will be a beta / alpha / whatever that's available to the wide public at some point this year, so everyone can get their hands on it before it launches. But that said, well, that's it for me. That's it for the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some fighting games.